Hi everyone, my name is Marcus Rodell, and I will show you a bit about how a file structure in a modular monolith compares to a classical layered architecture. So let's take a peek. So first of all, we have the classical layered architecture here with controllers, services, and repositories. And layered architecture will allow this one layer to talk to the siblings inside of your layer and one layer down. It will not allow you to have any kind of knowledge of a layer on top or more than one layer down. So let's look at repository, for example. It's at the bottom of the three layers. It is not allowed to know about controllers and services. But company's repository is allowed to talk to products repository. If we go up one layer, we have the services layer, where company service is allowed to talk to product service and everything inside of the repositories layer. Moving up layer again, we're in controllers, the top one, and the company's controller is allowed to talk to product's controller. It's not that common though. And it's allowed to talk to anything in the services layer. As it scales, then you'll have access to more and more things inside of your own layer and the layer below. And that creates quite a lot of implicit or possible coupling. And in effect, it tends to create a spaghetti monolith over time. That's very hard to work in. One way of addressing this is to add a little bit of constraints on top with vertical boundaries instead of just horizontal layering. We also introduce some kind of vertical layering where the vertical layers, I will call it kits, and because it's a very distinct word compared to modules, which sounds like models. So inside here of the kits folder, you can see that I have companies and products, which is the same that you saw here inside of the previous layers. So inside of companies, I have a controller, a repository, and service. And same thing here. I have a controller, repository, and service for products. Now, with these new subfolders, we have a convention where the products kit is not allowed to call basically anything inside of companies. Now, there are certain ways where you can introduce coupling where you need to, and then it's only between the service layers. So the controller is not allowed to talk to another controller. Only service is allowed to talk to another service. But we'll go into those details later on. The whole point here is to try to have them as separate as possible. And where you actually have coupling, you're very explicit and use the compiler to help you prove that you're fulfilling the requirements and have some kind of centralized file that will give you an overview of the existing coupling. And we'll look at that in another video. So thank you for this one and see you in the next video.